256-576-4977.
That's how I roll.
And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Back here at Mark Camara's Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Only a 1-hour extravaganza today as Alabama getting ready to take on the Jaguars of South Alabama. Is that good? Oh.
Very good, yes.
Okay. Only a 1-hour endeavor today. We're walking up to Alabama basketball. We'll hear from some of the coaches, including as well Jim Harbaugh saying...
It's got to be America's team. It's got to be America's team.
I mean, clearly, it's America's team are the Michigan Wolverines. And
I have no doubt he really thinks that.
Oh, there's no doubt.
He has
you can hear it in his voice.
It's got to be America's team. It's got to be America's team.
I mean, that's not fake. He really genuinely believes that Michigan is America's team. We'll talk to Reese Davis here momentarily as he is up in New York City, up at Madison Square Garden, getting ready for a basketball doubleheader. Brian, do you want me to call him, or are you good back there? Well, the sounds.
Sorry about
of
that.
silence.
I was on the phone.
Leaving
a voicemail
he's working on it.
Yeah.
So I'll give him a minute on that.
I left a message for Reese Davis. He's not answering his phone right now.
Gotcha. You know what? I will just try to give him a ring right here since he just texted me, and we'll. Ooh, wow.
Well, not everybody has the pull you do, Steve.
No.
Yes.
Let's see here. But hopefully we will.
This is great radio, by the way.
Reese Davis joins us live on the air right now. Reese, appreciate you calling in, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing real well. Boy, it's what a season this has been in college football, and to have this many undefeated teams this late in the year is pretty remarkable, Reese.
It'd be quite a way to send out the final year of this format of the college football playoff. We have had so many selection days that were pretty much devoid of any real controversy, and other years where you're just sort of making a selection among the making the least objectionable selection, which I really think is what Ohio State was in that last spot last year. But this year, depending on how things play out these last couple of weeks, there's a really good chance that teams that other years that would have easily made the playoff are going to be left out. And so it certainly creates some drama.
So do you really believe Michigan is America's team?
I do not believe that. I believe they're Michigan's team, and they're a great team potentially. I really think that's an outstanding club on the field, which is a totally separate issue from what's going on off of it. But I don't think this is the kind of thing that people rally behind and decide they're going to root for them because of this. But I will say that I agree with this. I was under the weather yesterday, a little bit of a stomach bug, but I did some extra push-ups, ate an apple, and became the iron wall that the virus slammed into and shattered. So, I've still got that going for me at least.
Yeah, that dog.
Hey, here we go again. Mutual Omaha in Connecticut.
So, going to the kind of college football playoff, we've heard that it was going to be the schedule strength was going to be a big deal. Schedule strength is going to be a big deal.
Eye test, that type of.
Well, yeah, but the schedule, what does your eye test matter when your schedule strength 70th or in anything over 50? I don't get how we were supposed to schedule these teams and then when you lose to one, you get punished. and the other guys don't play anybody and don't get and they talk about how great they are.
Well, I guess where Wes is going is the consistencies of this committee. How much does strength of schedule matter, do you think, Reese?
Well, here's the thing, and this is how McElroy and I sort of had a little debate last week, and I fully respect Greg's perspective on this, but I keep hearing this word consistency. And in my judgment, when you're talking about 13 people, there are only two ways to have consistency. One is to have a formula. Two is to engage in groupthink. Otherwise, you're going to have a variety of opinions. That's why we have the 13-person committee. So I think this notion that, that maybe at the margins that Ohio State was rewarded for its resume or its strength of schedule, yet, another team maybe wasn't. Maybe, Oregon passed the football judgment aspect of it ahead of Texas and Alabama, and, therefore they were ranked a couple of spots higher. Different things are going to push certain rankings over the top. And if you want consistency, the only way to do that is formula. And we hated the formula. I say we collectively. I think it got a little bit of a bad rap. But when the BCS was in place, all people talked about, you got to have people who have football judgment in there. And it occurs to me that it seems like that football judgment tends to mean, do you agree with what I think about these teams? And if you don't, you're wrong and stupid and aren't being consistent. And it's like, so that's kind of where I am on that. So
I think that's what I'm saying now.
Yeah, I know. Right, exactly. But it is, but see, right, that's what I mean, is like everybody thinks they have the right answer. And the reason that there are 13 people on the committee is so that there is some discussion, some debate, some evaluating and ranking of teams. And have you guys been through the process before? Have you done one of those meetings?
Have not.
They actually invited us and we didn't go. So
they did invite us.
Yeah,
we did not attend in Dallas.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it would. I think you'd find it enlightening because it's a little bit different and you come to realize that other people in the room look at things differently than you might, bring up things that you might either, if you did think of it, you didn't put the weight on, and it makes you wonder, okay, why are they putting the weight on that? Maybe at the end of the day, you still think what you think, but it at least gives you some insight. I think when Boo Corrigan comes out on Tuesday nights, as he will a little bit later this week because of the Champions Classic, everybody thinks, well, this is what Boo thinks, and this is what every single person in that committee room thought. And in reality, what it is Boo is representing the consensus that they came to, the result that they came to. And because of that, he can be put in a position sometimes where it's, sort of difficult to explain to everyone's satisfaction why resume might have given one team the edge and football judgment gave another team the edge.
Talking to Reese Davis right now.
I'm looking at schedule strength, and they're different, but you look at Michigan 63rd, Georgia 65th. This after last week. Oregon 54th. And then, and I get why you have to, in my opinion, put Texas ahead of Alabama. I get that. They played. Yeah. They lost. Alabama has, according to this, is Sagarin Rankins, or Sagarin, has the toughest schedule in the country.
And Texas is 8.
Mm-hmm.
And these other guys, to me, you've rewarded Michigan for playing nobody.
A really good team yet. They will in the last week of the season. That's a product of the fact that there are only two really good teams in the Big Ten. There's another pretty good one in Penn State, and everybody else is pretty average.
When you watch them, they look like they know the plays. I don't get it.
Michigan's strength of schedule will rise. Both Michigan and Georgia had schedule strength in the 100s prior to the last couple of weeks, and they've moved up during that.
Uh-oh. Bad question I asked.
Evidently.
Yes.
Maybe his phone died. We'll find out.
That's what it sounded like.
We'll find out here in just a minute or two. But Reese will be hosting the college football Here's Reese. Reese, sorry about that, brother. I'm not sure.
Dog run over.
just Hey, just because Wes disagrees with me doesn't mean you have to hang up.
I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah, I was.
I'm not even sure what Wes disagrees with. I mean, are you? I mean, so let me ask you this: at the end of the day, the committee's charge is to get the 4 best teams, and when they dip into the criteria, it's when teams are similar or they're trying to differentiate, to use their phrase, at the margins when teams are in a cluster. If they determine that one team is clearly better than another one, by whatever means, through strength of schedule, football judgment, which is what I use instead of eye test because I think that is more appropriate. When they determine that a team is just better, then they don't have to split hairs and get granular about those things. But in almost every case, those teams aren't significantly better, at least not at the top, so they do. So I understand what you're saying, but if the charge is to get the 4 best teams, who are the 4 best teams in your judgment right now?
What I've watched right now, the 2
Georgia,
Alabama, Michigan, and Ohio State.
Okay.
Now I'm not going. You're just asking me when I look at these teams who look like the best 4.
If you were sitting in the room, and they do it a little differently because they put a group of, you write down teams in no particular order. People write down teams. You get 6 teams. Whoever gets the most vote of the 6, then they go into a group, and then you rank them among the 6. Then the top 3 move in, and you continue on until you get the full rankings. That's much easier to show visually than to explain orally, but I think you get what I'm saying. So if you were in that room right now and you had the 6 teams, those are the 4 teams, top 3 teams, and then the 4th one would be the top team from your next group. Those would be your 4.
I just think right now, as of Saturday, those were the 4 best teams.
Okay, that's a fair assessment of the situation. Why is it that you think Alabama is better than Texas?
Well, I think they would beat them right now, just by the way that they're playing versus the way Texas is playing
right now.
Okay,
yeah, but honestly,
that's also fair. But how do you then? And look, let me say, I don't think head-to-head has to mean everything. For instance, let's say, and thankfully this is not the case, but if, for instance, Quinn Ewers had not been able to return this season, and Texas continued to have turnover problems at the quarterback position, but somehow continued to win, then I don't think head-to-head has to trump everything. And it doesn't just have to be an injury. But I don't think head-to-head has to be the be-all, end-all. But it has to carry some weight if the teams are fairly similar. And that's sort of where I am. That's sort of where I am with Alabama and Texas. Right?
Well, yeah, I would put Texas right now. But, Alabama and Georgia are going to play now. That'll take care of itself.
It will.
It's going to take care of one of them. But the SEC champion that has won how many of the BCS games total?
The playoff,
CFP
playoff. Who? I mean, well, how can you not?
They've won them all. They've won them all except for the
Ohio
Clemson
State
years and the Ohio State years.
Yeah.
It's 14 and the 2 Clemson years.
Yeah. So how in the world could you say? And the 2 Clemson years they beat Alabama.
Well, right now both Georgia and Alabama look elite to me, Reese.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't disagree with that at all. But here's a nightmare scenario that might really upset the both of you. Michigan or Ohio State go undefeated. Florida State goes undefeated. Washington goes undefeated. Texas wins the Big 12 with 1 loss. Alabama beats Georgia, they still might not make it.
Yeah, no, that's very real. Especially that where I started this conversation with as many undefeated teams there's just so much more uncertainty that we haven't had really over the last handful of years.
So here's what I'll say to that: the number 1 team they'll have the hardest schedule of everybody, and they don't get in.
Well,
that's nuts.
I'm not saying, Wes, I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying it's probably not the slam dunk that it is most any other year. And the other thing that let's say Alabama and Georgia play, the type of game we kind of expect, knock down, drag out, and Riker wins it on a field goal at the end. Now we're saying Georgia is not one of the 4 best teams. Come on, So I mean, but it may be that they did it. The team that I think that oddly, even though I think I'm a little bit higher on them than a lot of my colleagues, I think the team that might find itself in a little trouble, even if they're undefeated, there is Florida State. Now maybe Washington too, but I think the Pac-12. I think the Pac-12 is a little sturdier at the top than it is most years, meaning that there's more of a depth of, for lack of a better way to put it, upper middle class team, probably even better than the SEC. But that kind of thing's debatable. I don't think Washington would be in as much trouble undefeated as Florida State might be, because the ACC's underperformed a little bit. And, the great win that Florida State had against LSU is certainly still that, but Alabama has that too, and they have it later in the season.
Yeah.
So, and then Alabama would also add the Georgia win in that particular case. So it would be fascinating. And speaking as a guy who has 4 hours of television to fill on Selection Day, I could go for a little, go for a little debate and controversy.
I know, especially the last couple of years, it's been like, hey, I think we know who the 4 are. Welcome to the show. Yeah.
Yeah, it was even though I feel like that last year that, even though Ohio State played an unbelievable game against Georgia. Yeah. But I really believe Alabama was better than Ohio State last year. But it was really hard to make a case for them. Yeah. I mean, with the second loss, and there wasn't a great win, to really bolster that. When your best resume point is, hey, we lost a couple of tough ones. We lost a couple of tough ones, and we've got a great quarterback and a great rush end. It's kind of tough. And that one loss versus 2, I think, ended up carrying the day. So last year was sort of like the least objectionable option, with Ohio State, but it was hard to make a case for anyone else. This year, I think you're going to be able to make a lot of cases.
Well, the problem I had is Ohio State got monkey stopped at home their last game, and they still got in.
Yeah.
That's the last game. That was the last game you played, and you got smoked. That was my problem.
No, I don't disagree with you. That I thought that was nearly a disqualifying loss, but it was just hard. It was hard to justify the other one. It was. I think that's where it was, but I don't have any qualms whatsoever with anyone who says that Alabama was the better team last year, or that they would have voted them ahead of Ohio State. I don't have a problem with that at all.
I do wonder, Reese, final question I've got for you, as to whether or not the committee may have, at least themselves take a look at how this would look a year from now in terms of 5 through 9, and trying to set things up on the table so they could at least have a dry run through, so to speak.
Meaning like for the 12 team?
For the 12 team, yes. How it would look this year in their eyes when we get to that final Sunday.
Well, they'll release it all, so you'll be able to see what it would be like. And there's been no indication they're going to change their protocol in terms of the way they evaluate the teams and rank them. So, how the final rankings come out on that Sunday will tell you exactly what the 12-team field would have looked like had it been in play this year. So, that'll be pretty interesting, along with the fact that we could wind up in a situation where there is no group of 5 champion ranked in the top 25, depending on who might win these championships. Tulane has been flirting with danger for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and they keep escaping. And they were the only ones ranked, if memory serves, last week by the committee, and they were toward the end. So, but as it is, the committee goes on and extends the rankings until they get to the highest ranked group of 5 champions. So we'll have somebody, but it would be pretty interesting if that happens. That's going to cause the biggest outcry. It's always going to be the same thing for the last 9, now going on 10 years. It's who's number 5, and it's who's number 12 or 13, depending on where the ranking goes. Because if you have a group of 5 champion that's below 12, then it's going to take that 12th spot away at the end, and potentially, depending on how they set the format, whether they keep it 6 and 6 or whether they go to 5 champions and 7 at large, which I suspect they'll do, will have an impact on who makes the field.
So, hey, I know you're up there in Madison Square Garden. Should be a fantastic basketball doubleheader, and I'm looking forward to Kentucky and Kansas. Honestly, Reese.
We're not there. We're not there this year.
Oh, really?
I'll be in studio in Bristol. And I believe, now I could be wrong, but isn't it in Chicago? So I'm really glad.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You know what? This just older years are kicking in, and that's on me.
Don't worry about it. I forget my name most of the time, so I don't know what's going on.
We're gonna have to get a Steve dog.
Yeah, clearly.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I think
that'll help him.
I do have a dog, but it's a little mutt mix named Kirby, so,
Did you name him after Kirby Smart?
No, actually, we went to the Humane Society, and the pup's name was Kirby, and my wife was like, well, we've got to now. So, we're Georgia fans. So, yeah, that was the determining factor for us picking up Kirby.
So, Reese, I got a question for you. If you could hang out with any college coach, head football coach, and you could pick anyone, which one would you choose?
Well, that's a good question. I'm probably going to forget somebody and make somebody mad, but probably Nick, if we were going to the lake house, or Kirby. Kirby would be fun. I understand, Kirby's a lot of fun away from the facility. Who am I forgetting? There's somebody I'm forgetting that's a slam dunk.
See, I get a little feeling that Lane and Kirby have hung out more than they let on.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a question to answer with them.
Yeah.
Off the record.
Yeah, those might be good. You know who's rising up the rankings, who I'm just now kind of just starting to get to know, who I really like and find to be a highly entertaining chap.
Who's that?
Eli Drinkwitz.
Huh? Yeah, I can see that.
You want to have that cat on your show sometime. He's he's a funny dude, man.
Yeah,
he's a funny dude. Yeah. So he might be one that is, use the old Corsoism, he might be sneaking around the chicken coop there. So he'd be a good one to hang out with too.
Well, I do like the fact that you're going to Jimmy Madison this week. They deserve a spotlight. I think they, especially for what they've accomplished this year.
Yeah, it's going to be. They're wanting to make it the biggest ever, and they already have 2 of the biggest crowds on game day record, I think. So it's going to be fun. Jonas Brothers are going to perform during the show, so that'll be just fantastic. So we're excited about that.
So the head coach was the guy that recruited Wesley to Alabama.
Oh, Kirk Cignetti. I was communicating with him today. Yeah.
Yep. He was a quarterbacks coach 1 year for Alabama, maybe 2.
So the only point of pride that I got out of Lane Kiffin in the teleconference last week, Reese, was the fact that he beat Kirby in a tug-of-war one-on-one when they were both at Bama.
Embarrassing if you're Kirby. I mean, you think about it. I mean,
take that.
Kirby's got this reputation as a tough guy, and you lost to Lane one-on-one at tug-of-war.
I bet he doesn't admit it. I bet there's a reason.
I think Lane might be sneaky strong, though.
Yeah. You got the sneaky part right anyway.
Man, maybe
All right.
Yeah.
So score one for you there, David. You got me on that one. That was good. That was pretty good.
I gotta say, now I know, Reese, you've hung out a bunch with Coach Saban.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well, you've done things with them.
More than us. I mean, come on.
So you've been with. I went to the thing in Florence where y'all did a question answers thing that I showed up because I had to. When I left, I was so glad I went. It was really good. I mean, very impressive the way y'all did that. So what is something that would surprise us about Nick Saban?
I don't know if it was. I think that people have come to know this over the last few years. He's a really funny guy. He's got a great sense of humor. He's also incredibly well read. Like he'll recommend books. He's got a great memory. I think the story we told that night about him working security way back in the day, Rolling Stones concert, and my memory, I can't remember if it's Ham or Lambert that he played with it. I think Jack Lambert that he played with at Kent State.
That's right.
That took off, and the guy that was playing ahead of Lambert at the time took off to be a full-time security guy for the Rolling Stones, and Lambert moved up the depth chart because of it. He's got all these great stories. He's got a great sense of humor. He's really, really well read, and I think that. But I think he's let people see that side of him a lot more. So I don't know if that would be as surprising as it might have been 10 years ago. The kind of human side to him that's much more evident than it was in the past.
Don't you think Miss Terry has brought him along very nicely?
I think she does. I told McAfee the other day, so I'm not buying this whole thing that he had to get Miss Terry in line about looking ahead to Auburn. I said Miss Terry was just pushing the buttons to make sure Nick was in the right spot.
Amen.
That's all that was.
Yeah.
He's not fooling me for a minute. I know how that works.
Well, we'll be watching you in studio tonight and not in Madison Square Garden. So, Reese, I can't thank you enough for hopping on, sir.
I bet. Thanks, guys. See you later.
All right, Reese.
That's Reese Davis. Oh, goodness. Good stuff there. But his one-on-one back in the preseason with Kirby Smart, I mean, he did agitate Kirby a little bit because of the off-field issues at the University of Georgia. I mean, you had to go there and address it. But the way he kind of opened up Kirby, who is usually kind of close to the vest, and finding out about lottery tickets and how he's got a thing for lottery tickets and how their Christmas is actually in July and not in December.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, that's a really good idea.
Especially with how much college football consumes these coaches, especially in the month of December with the recruiting cycle and everything else that is involved. So that was supposed to be about a 10-minute interview, and, well, a little long right there, but it was good stuff there from Reese Davis. Let's take our first time out. Final 30 belong to you as we're live here and walking you up to Alabama basketball as the Crimson Tide getting ready to take on South Alabama.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold-certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Are you thinking about home improvements? Well, use your equity now and refi later. Or use your equity to eliminate consumer debt forever, then refi to a lower rate and shorter term when rates drop. North Alabama Mortgage can also help you if you're thinking about buying an investment property or a second home at the lake or the beach or in the mountains. We have great programs to make that happen. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Mark and Henry McDaniel, attorneys at law, are proud alumni of Madison Academy, and Madison Academy is proud of them. They have served our community through their practice, through volunteerism and service on national, state, and local boards. They explain the complexity of critical court rulings on local media. Their successful practice has been built on integrity. Both are veterans of MA Athletics and proud sponsors of Mustang football. McDaniel and McDaniel, attorneys at law. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by the lawyer.
Seems our little town isn't so little anymore. It seems like every time you go somewhere, you see a new neighborhood or business. That's exactly why the Huntsville-Madison County Builders Association is proud to be selected as the host site for the OSHA Training Institute Education Center. Employees, employers, and supervisors, public and private, can train with the experts. Keep training, keep certified, keep safe. To sign up for classes, visit hmcba.org. That's hmcba.org.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
Just a 1-hour extravaganza today, actually 27-minute extravaganza. Hope you enjoyed that conversation with Reese Davis right there. And they are going over scenarios in front of us on ESPN television. But I will tell you that the undefeated teams through 12 weeks at 10-0, there was a total of 7 teams. This is the most 10-win teams in a season in the national championship game era since 1998. The most previous was 2009 when there was 6 10-0 teams. But still a lot left to unfold, and at least the biggest is Georgia at Tennessee, at least according to the rankings, although I would assume Tennessee is going to fall pretty hard after they fell pretty hard on the road there in Missouri. Coach Jack Crow just called me. Coach Crow, we're live on the air right now. How are you, Coach?
I am good. How's Wes?
I'm doing great, Coach. How are you?
I'm good. I'm driving back from Mobile. I'm on the road. I don't know if I hit a spot here. I'll just disappear and I'll.
It's all good, Coach. I wanted to get a thought or two on what you see out of Alabama in particular here down the stretch and the growth that we've seen out of this Alabama football team, Coach?
Well, I have a couple of really strong impressions, Wes, around the quarterback. He did a couple of things. I didn't watch the Kentucky game, but he did a couple of things week before that I think just separates him. I mean, they're Cam Newton-ish stuff. I think there's a package. I don't know if they just decided they were going to start unveiling this as they went. Part of me suspects, I'm probably wrong, that in this age where you protect your quarterback so damn much, that you may not have realized that this guy could do some of these things. I'm talking about with his legs. He stuck his foot in the ground, moved his weight forward, and jumped upfield like a goddamn first-round draft course running back. I mean, it was bowish is what it was. I'm going, where the heck did this come from?
So, Coach, I think a lot of it's come with confidence. And he showed flashes of it, but I don't think he really – because I'll go watch the Texas game, and I'm back, and I was watching it from I was watching from the end zone, and it was like watching the tape, And he was hesitating. Yeah. Everything he did, he hesitated. Hesitated to throw the ball. The only time he didn't hesitate were the 2 interceptions. Everything else he hesitated and was measured. When he'd run, he'd start to run and then never take off. And I was thinking run, And in my mind, it was run, but he would kind of take a couple steps and then run. He wasn't sure about anything. And with that confidence, he is sure about it now. And the guy is, we've always said he is this unbelievable athlete. But I think Coach Saban said it right at halftime of the Tennessee game. You have to step up in the pocket. If you step up in the pocket, you're going to freeze everybody when they see you coming to them, and then it's going to open the whole field to you.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened.
And we saw that in the Kentucky game, Coach, just to let you know.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something, Wes. When it comes down to it, greatness may be in the 12 inches between you and the guy that's trying to tackle you. Just that last 12 inches, I never really saw him seek out beating the tackler. It was always outrun, and with the hesitation you're talking about, it's still, I interpret everything as a straight line for him before. Now, it will scare the hell out of Georgia's linebackers or anybody else to see what he can do at close quarters. Because if he puts you in an arm tackle, you ain't going to tackle him. The other thing, I don't know what this guy – I don't think he's got Jalen's leg strength. But, people are going to try to have one guy isolated to put him on the ground. They had him in design run schemes inside the box. And sooner or later, he's going to end up one-on-one with somebody. And if that guy misses, it's going to be Bo Jackson. Because what comes after that, they ain't going to catch his ass.
No, the people that can catch him really can't do a lot with him.
Yeah, and he's one broken tackle away from swapping ends of the field, which is what Bo was. That was what Bo was.
Oh, yeah. Coach, I'd love to get an early thought on how you size up this year's Iron Bowl, especially how Auburn looked at Arkansas over the weekend, Coach.
I don't know that Arkansas tells you a whole lot about what they can do, other than they look like finally they're organized, like they know what they're trying to do. And go back to what you said, Wes, confidence. They played with confidence. Listen, I love Arkansas. I'm a Razorback till I die. But they quit. They surrendered. And I think what Auburn was able to accomplish was part of them just coming out ready to play, being organized, having intent, and Arkansas spitting the bit out. And that damn sure ain't going to happen against Alabama. So I don't know. I don't know that there's any real threat in it, looking at it from Alabama's side, other than, mistakes. That's always characterized anytime there was this thing was closer than it should have been, is Alabama let it happen by making mistakes.
Well, Coach, going back to the Arkansas, did the quarterback not look like he gained 10 pounds last week for Arkansas's quarterback?
Yeah, I get it. Yes, that's what it looked like to me.
And he was breathing hard in the first quarter. It was really, I don't know if he was, you never know if somebody's sick, but he looked awful. But, as I said yesterday, I don't want to take anything away from Auburn because they executed. I mean, and the guy, they caught some contested balls, and he threw some contested balls.
Yeah,
but it's no question that Arkansas laid an egg.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take it away from Auburn because they played 4 quarters. They really did. They played 4 quarters and they executed. And when you execute, you got a chance anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if they had played the whole Arkansas effort, I think they would have won because they played a quality football game. I don't think you can take the score to really mean anything out of the game because Arkansas spit. They just, they gave up. They gave in.
They spit the bit out. I've heard of that, but never in a football tournament, and it makes sense so.
I really think, Alabama. It looks. I think they're on the verge of being a really special Alabama football team, which tells me what that little smirking Nick has been all this damn time.
You think he saw it all along?
I think he's seen it the whole damn time, and I think he just really likes this team. And I think he realizes they were just a bit of confidence away from being really special. And if there's one damn thing Nick Saban knows he can do, given time, he will make those guys. He will give them poise and confidence.
Well, to that point, Coach, I'll go back to his first press conference to start fall camp where he was laughing with the media at the very end. And everybody's reaction on the media side was, oh, no, he's laughing. And yeah.
Well, I don't know. I tell you, when you got a quarterback, he doesn't do the interview, right? And everybody's seen that. But take that. When you run the ball like that, hell, the intermediate is going to be a big-ass hole. Because linebackers are not going to be giving you much of a problem, the crossing route or the dig, because they're going to be buried in the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So that intermediate seam, instead of being a 5-yard level, it's a 14-yard level. He won't have much of a problem when it's that dang big.
Coach, I can't thank you enough for calling me.
All right, man.
And
safe travels,
Coach.
All right.
We'll talk again.
Guys.
Thank you.
All right.
I'll talk to you soon, Coach.
That is Coach Jack Crow, kind enough to call in. I realize there's folks on hold, but always Great information. He doesn't sugarcoat things.
No,
does Coach Crow.
No
Let's
question.
take her final time out. She's going to bounce back. I know she's going to bounce back. I know it for a fact. Jen is going to join us on the other side with her bounce back week of picks next.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford's Thanksgiving sales event. This is the time of year to give thanks for all the good things in our lives. And at Woody Anderson Ford, we give thanks that you're driving a Ford. Right now, we've got financing as low as 2.9% for up to 60 months on 2023 Explorer and Bronco Sport, plus $1,500 in bonus cash. Even our 2023 F-150 Crew Cab has $1,500 bonus cash and financing as low as 3.9%. And our lease rates are great, too. 2023 Bronco Sport, $389 a month. 23 Explorer, $537 a month. And our 23 F-150 Crew Cab, just $449 a month, plus $3,000 in total trade assistance and red carpet lease cash. These are 36-month leases with $36.95 on Bronco Sport, $49.21 on Explorer, and $51.51 on F-150 due at signing. Zero security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. These offers end November 30th. Call 539-9441 for complete details. It's Woody Anderson Ford's Thanksgiving sales event, and we hope to see you soon.
The End Zone Sports Bar has done it again. This time, they're bringing their jumbo wings, handcrafted burgers, Tex-Mex, and New York-style pizza to the Midtown District with their new location on McMurtry Drive Northwest opposite the Target Plaza. Tuesdays at the End Zone means half-price burgers, and Wednesday is $1 jumbo wings all day long. The End Zone also features Sunday ticket for all your NFL viewing. The newest End Zone Sports Bar in the Midtown District on McMurtry near the Target Plaza. Get in the End Zone.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Our customers trust us not only to find the right hardware, but to advise them on the technology that makes them more efficient.
My Next Level team researches and discovers real solutions. Check-in software, HR, digital signature, and workflow software. It saves you money immediately. We hold your hand and stay with you through the transition.
We're taking our customers to the next level in business process automation.
Each week, check out our latest Zone deal online at 977ESPN.com.
I'm eating good food.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Winding things down here at Mark Camara's Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Don't look at me that way on the radio. I can see looking at the radio going, it's 5:49. Well, Bama basketball will tee it up. They'll fire off at the top of the hour. Jen is here with us from the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. And Jen, it's time to bounce back.
Oh, it is.
It's time. How are you, Jen?
Well, I better when I adjust my headset and get my hair looking all bougie. I'll make sure
it's
I
important.
look good.
It's important.
Not that it matters on the radio. No one can see me but y'all.
Well, for now.
There's a camera right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
is there?
what?
Well, let me pull up my dress a little bit. Let me just, make sure my lipstick is
just
on.
flash the audience.
Woo-woo.
Look at there you go.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to chalk it up to hormones. That's all.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
You win some, you lose some.
Yes, you do.
I'm sorry.
But you've been winning more than you've been losing.
This is true.
In a big way.
This is true. That's just kind of how gambling goes, you know?
This is what happens when you don't pick the Gamecocks.
And this is what happens when you don't know a whole lot about football. And you're just the mouthpiece for those that know. How's that?
So let's get into some picks. Let's get into some picks.
So because I was so bad last week, I just had one this week.
Oh, just one?
Just one. That's all. Because it was so humbling. There just isn't enough alcohol, and even at the bar. I'm just saying. So
we need a drink.
Right now?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I even did all that sober. Like completely
See, that's
sober.
the problem right there.
That we need more alcohol?
Yeah, we're doing better
More
tonight,
drinks?
looks like to me.
Whoop, whoop. How about Iowa State?
Iowa State.
Like clean straight. Texas, I think. Yeah, Texas.
Okay.
So Texas goes down.
Yeah, and we want Texas to go down because doesn't Alabama?
Yes.
Yeah. So we would like this to work out that way, right?
Well, there's no question.
Yes?
Yes.
Let's just say yes.
We all can't be
does that
undefeated
sound
like the Georgia Bulldogs.
Good pick. Oh, I know. We just go for more cowbell. No, that's the wrong team. Oh, yeah, Bulldogs. Sorry. You had me at Bulldogs. I'm
okay.
sorry. Bulldogs, cowbells, Georgia.
How do you feel about your team looking for a new coach?
I mean, right? Isn't that awful?
I heard they're going to hire Dion. Is that true?
I don't know, but it makes me nervous. It's just more cowbell.
You want Dion?
You know what, though? He's the Colorado coach, right?
He's Colorado.
I like him. I like his flavor.
He's right behind there.
Yeah. He's a no-nonsense kind of guy, right?
He is.
I like no-nonsense.
Yeah.
He's more no nonsense than you would come to believe.
I do think he's more nonsense.
I always said if they did 6-6 this year, he'd done a great job. And of course, they won the first two and got everybody.
Got everybody hyped up.
Yeah,
and then they kind of went, wah.
Well, their
defense,
they don't have the players yet. It just takes a minute.
I know, and people just aren't patient, are they?
No.
And he kind of had like this
I'd say Mississippi State was patient with their coach.
I would agree. And, I know we had an awful season, and I agree with that. Yeah. But it just ends up with just more cowbell. And it really is all about the tailgate before and after, not necessarily what happens on the field, right?
That's right. I guess.
Right. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, that's about all my knowledge as it comes
So we're getting Iowa
from the
State.
bar. How's that? Iowa State straight up? Yes?
Straight
That's all
up.
we got this week. Humble pie.
So what's happening at the factory this
week? A lot. Oh, a lot. It's fall. We're closed in. But we're going to do this weekend outside because the weather is to be beautiful. And having said that, we have a really special guest. Did you know that his name is Davidos?
Davidos.
You ever heard of him?
I have not.
Me
I have
neither.
not, but that doesn't mean anything.
I know, me neither.
He probably doesn't know me either.
But wait, like to just kind of educate people because I'm really not very techie. But I've heard that there are people that are techie, and they say that like he has like $1.6 million million YouTube followers.
Okay.
And he's kind of one of these one-man show bands. He does everything. He plays, he sings, he does every instrument known to man, and he's the kind that interacts with the crowd. He's amazing.
So he's an entertainer.
Yes.
He's a great entertainer.
And he's someone that we really haven't had, so it's new. Everyone should come just because he's going to be phenomenally new on the patio this year.
So
and
go on your Instagram
free.
and look it up.
Yes, Davidos. You like that?
Davidos, yes.
It's kind of like Feliz Navidad, Davidos.
Davidos.
It's kind of that spirit
That's
of like
exactly
the
what
holidays.
I was thinking.
Weren't you
Feliz
thinking
Navidad.
that? Feliz Navidad.
You're speaking
Feliz
that too.
Navidad, Davidos. It just kind of
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah,
Davidos.
Davidos.
Right?
It just sounds like that, doesn't it?
I don't
Doesn't he
think
sound like that?
It
come
does.
any other conclusion.
And he was like this really cool dude. Like I met him when he was here for Halloween. He has his long ponytail thing, and he has like blonde hair, and he has this Norwegian-y thing going on. Like he kind of had this cool vibe. I don't know. He was just super cool. All right, so that's on Saturday, and then before him we have this cool guy from The Voice. You heard of The Voice TV show?
Yes.
Yes. So his name is Jimmy Mowry. He was like pretty cool. I don't know a whole lot about how far they go on The Voice and this and that and the other, but they sing pretty well. So he's going to be the opener.
Okay, so he's going to be opening
on
act
Saturday
for
night.
Feliz Navidad. I mean, Davidos.
Davidos. See, you got it. So
Feliz
Saturday's going to be super
Davidos.
cool here. So
I'm going to look him up. That sounds interesting.
Need to.
Yes,
the whole night will be fun, and it's free. We don't have a cover. So after they watch all the games,
Yeah, Bama's early, and
is he early?
It's
How
an
early?
11 a.m. kick.
That means I'm doing a buffet. So yes, y'all come on for the buffet because I'm going to feed everybody on Saturday. So we'll feed y'all really good food, and then we're going to have this cool show that night. Does that sound good?
It does. Like a plan.
Yeah, so we still have bike night. I'm going to do a little buffet inside. Actually, I'm doing something special. I'm going to do like chicken pot pie, and I'm going to do my own biscuits and all that, like homemade. So I'm going to do that on Thursday night. So we've got that. So I'll do a little buffet. Friday night, we've got cool people. We have a new person, like it's a Hamilton Gardner band. They're new. We've never had them. They're Southern Rock. That'll be fun out on the patio.
And what's the weather supposed to be? You said it's going to be
warm.
Very warm.
And how nice is it? We've got all these like toasty little fire pits
this
and
is
all
great
that.
out here.
That's where you wear your little
Yeah.
sweaters, and if you want to bring a marshmallow too, that sounds good. It's that kind of weather where you come and you dance and you wear sweaters, and it's like cool to be outside.
Do you have any room left for procrastinators waiting on a?
Just a little, maybe, right?
Yeah.
So they call me to get, their little villa or their special tables and all that good stuff because we aren't going to have the patio open much longer. So
Yeah.
y'all come out this weekend. It'll be fun. Yes?
Sounds great.
Okay.
How do they-
FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com, or they can call me at 256-426-1989, or it's happy hour, and I need a drink since I lost so badly. I probably need a drink to just, make up for my losses.
That sounds like you do.
Okay.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Jen.
More tequila.
Or do you want to take some phone calls?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not good at this.
Mark from Spring Hill, Tennessee. You're on with Jen.
Well, here's what I got. Question about the playoff committee.
Then Jen's got this covered right here.
All right, here we go. They're supposed to get the top 4 teams in, top 4, and they're supposed to rank them each week as the top 4. All right, I've noticed that Alabama has had some pretty impressive wins of late and probably playing as good as anyone in the country. However, they're not moving up in that poll. So my question to you, Jen, and to the other two guys is, some say, well, it'll take care of itself. But I'm beginning to be concerned that in the past, they have rewarded teams that have, they don't mind leapfrogging a team from 8 to 5 if you've had big wins. So why is it you think that Alabama stays 8 regardless of who they beat and how bad they beat them? And I'm going to hang up and listen.
Theory, I think they won't jump them over Texas because Texas beat them, but they don't think Texas is good enough to jump over Oregon, who has 1 loss, and I guess is the top team with 1 loss.
What say you, Jen?
I agree. I agree with Wes, since he's the know-it-all when it comes to football.
That's why I was
agree with
wanting her
Wes.
to go first. But
Don't you love that?
Yes, I
Wes
do.
knows everything about football, and I concur.
I
How's
think
that?
Jen gets smarter by the minute.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all the tequila. It's our specials.
Thank you.
I wish we had time. I wish we had time to take more phone calls. I really do. I really do. Jen, you're the best.
I really do think that. It's obvious that Alabama has a better resume than Oregon. It's not even close, really. Oregon's ranked 63rd in schedule strength. Alabama has the #1 schedule strength in the nation.
Yeah.
Well, let's see him do it.
Yep.
Come on,
So
bring
we
it
still
on.
got to win, or it doesn't
Bring
matter.
it on. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford's Thanksgiving sales event. This is the time of year to give thanks for all the good things in our lives. And at Woody Anderson Ford, we give thanks that you're driving a Ford. Right now, we've got financing as low as 2.9% for up to 60 months on 2023 Explorer and Bronco Sport. Plus,